the final part of our program today. Let me put the request for Carrie. She had a request. Carrie, I do apologize. Your request was Zora. I know them from Zelda. All right. Triple J wanted a turbo. I'll look at that next time. All right, let's go to USDT.D. I'm going to read a letter that I wrote so you guys all have what I'm doing. Monday's dive session, right? I made it public. Not public, I made it for all Patreon that day. On the image notes. Okay, December 1st. Here it goes. All right. Important letter. Crypto markets. December 1st, all Patreon. I'm glad to be back from vacation Saturday and Sunday, December 1st. The markets acted almost exactly as expected. The down move for USDT.D on falling volume in the context of its territory and its moving being cut on Saturday and Sunday was everything we have been expecting and everything we need to know. The crypto markets are bearish. The bullish cryptos from last week were on lack of interest. When reading volume spread analysis, VSA, this told us the up moves for cryptos are the wrong direction. I can't shout it from the rooftops any louder. I told you years ago that when I see things, I would tell you years ago when I see things. So I told years ago, I'll shout it from the rooftops if I see big crash. I see things. This is what I'm seeing. I've made 5 reports. 4 were public, 1 was private, and now this is, and there may be soon. Yeah, so I made 5 reports, and there may soon be another danger activating. I'm watching careful, as we all should be. First, the volume challenges to the upside, as discussed in my previous 5 market reports, 4 public, 1 private, tells us the story about the volume spread analysis alone is painting. So that alone is telling us a bearish market. It's painting a picture of price breaking to the upside on USDT.D. Again, that means bearish cryptos. When that goes up, your cryptos go down. It's very easy to stack the odds in our favor once we know the territory and direction of a market. In the case of many bearish cryptos, already in downtrend, we simply hunt the up move in a downtrend. So if cryptos are already going down in the downtrend, which many are, look for them to go against the stream, hunt those moves, cut the line. When the weakness enters, then you're good to start taking a trade with more statistical edge. In context, the up move is like a fish swimming the wrong way. The up moves for cryptos. It's easy to see and catch. That was the private report from November 5th, 2022. Many cryptos were easily caught, such as Gala, Algo, HBAR, and others. These were easy shorts. That's why I said it was easy money on that HBAR trade. Okay, the markets are down and should be down. But what is next now? Now that all the current USDT.D market numbers have been hit. So we had targets on the upside for the current territories, and those numbers were hit almost exactly, right? Almost to the exact number. There was 6.742. We hit those, and we called those numbers weeks in advance. Okay. Now, currently, 8.5% USDT.D may soon be in play. It should activate on the daily chart after price breaks above 6.79 area. So, what I mean by that, I'm going to give you guys my images. Here it is. USDT.D, if we getting above here, 6.648, 6.7 area, right there. Once we get some closes there, I'm going to be looking to hit 8 to 7.79, somewhere around there. We also have very strong core clusters around 8.6, so I'm going to be looking more to do that. And these are going to be circle clusters. So a lot of it projects and tells us I'm going to be getting far. Now, if we have that move, it's going to be a large dumpster fire for crypto markets. It's going to be huge. It has not triggered. The volume's telling us we're leaning to break to that side. Okay, that's what it's telling us. It should activate on the daily chart if price breaks above 6.79, really 6.684, and when this happens, a very large up move will begin to be in play with stops near 7, closer possibly stopping around 7, and up moves on USDT.D mean down moves for cryptos. Prophetic intel has confirmed this area to be a strong breakout if it happens. Current price is 6.36 at the time of this filming. So there are other prophetic voices that will say that's where we should be. It's a benchmark. And that was Triple J. And she also saw number 7. Number 7 still in the sky in that purple area. So if we get to those areas, especially if it's what's called a benchmark, the 6 4s are a benchmark, they also match this data, which means we're going to be looking to sit on those areas. Okay. And that's how that kind of works. Now we have a large target system on the month, 6.6, 6.11. So again, if we're building above there, I'm going to be looking to build a nice build. And that's why I have this large arrow up there showing to build above there. And that's going to give us time to enter those shorts. So you don't have to be worried about greedy. You don't have to worry about missing it. I don't think any of you guys are going to miss it. I think there's going to be, you're going to see probably one more up move after that in cryptos, and that's going to be the calm before the storm, which is already, we saw the volume at this last down move, it was on low volume. So it's the wrong way, and the territories we have are still here up in within this area. Okay, now let's go further. I'm expecting these can be used for exiting shorts. So when we see we're at those areas, the 6.79, 6.48, 648, somewhere around there, that's when you can start exiting shorts. That's to take some profit and be careful. But if this happens, I will place a, the film currently prices 6.36 as of the time of this filming. The filming will be posted within 24 hours. Current short should be considered taking profits at weaknesses or at the 6.79 area. These can be used for exiting shorts. However, I'm expecting a break above the 6.79. If this happens, then I will place a large target in the sky at 8.6 area. I have not placed that target there. It's not in play, but once we get here and get a close, I'm going to put a white box around that side so you guys can all see where we're at. Now, this will be a target at 8.6 with moves expected into the 9s. This will be a large crash and large possible shorting opportunities to be successful. Please pay attention to when or if this occurs and stay safe. A lot of people are chomping at the bit to buy something, expecting bounces to be bullish to the bullish side. But if the weakness continues, it will be very dangerous for buyers. Even shakeouts in the area for buyers can cause them to jump on the buying bandwagon, expecting to go north when the train is heading south. It can be a bloodbath. More than last October forecast for quarter 1, report number 1 and 2. This was the reports 1 and 2, 4 and 1 and 2, which are here. Okay. Quarter 4, report number 1, October 25th. Report number 2, November 3rd. Report number 3, this one should say number 3 with a different date. I don't know why it has that. Oh, we had the little text there. That needs to be deleted. And then report number 4. This one's the one where XRP. I talked about the weakness in XRP, November 10th. Then this one's private, report number 5. Okay, for all you guys on our channel, plus all my normal reports. All right. So, finally, let's finish up this letter. My personal opinion is to only look to buy when you have a reason to, such as in health, in your current maps for your favorite cryptos. Don't just buy a bottom because it's a bottom. In a bullish market, meaning signs of bullish direction, that's how you should be buying. You need to be buying in a bullish market when things are in bullish direction, or when you have a reason to, such as a health for your current crypto or map. So whatever you guys are trading, look for whatever your current map is and see, draw on your, don't have to rely on me or my art only, or the principles within Sword Method 7.0. Draw what you have. Do you see a bounce in the chart, in the data? Don't just see a support. Do you see a bounce? Do you have a reason why you expect it to bounce? Okay, because there's a lot of trend lines. But rule number 1 from lesson number 1 is what happens at a trend line is just as important as what doesn't happen at a trend line. They both can be very telling. Okay. Now, this is currently not the case. So if I said, such as you want to have a reason to buy, such as health in your current maps or favorite cryptos, and in a bullish market means signs of bullish direction. This is currently not the case. Until that changes, trying to buy the dip, as many are expecting, because that's what everybody says, is like trying to catch a falling knife. This is just my opinion, guys. It can waste your time and at least possibly be and waste your time and at least and possibly be successful at best. But at worst, it can hurt a lot. If you're trying to catch that knife, it can hurt you if you're not right. We don't need to be right as much as we need to be safe and wise. God is not trying to, did he time the market perfectly? No. Did he do this perfectly? No. Did he double his money? God wasn't even looking for the man to double his money when he gave them the talent. You know what he said to him? You should have put it at least with the banker so I would have had some interest. He wasn't looking to double his money. He was looking for some kind of something on it. You understand? Some kind of interest, some kind of gain. You don't have to have maximum gains to get the approval. Whose approval are you trying to win? Mine? Yours? Your family? Most of the time, it's your own ego that needs to be right. I gotta be right. I gotta make this money. Why can't you take a loss? Why can't you cut your loss short? Why can't you undertrade rather than overtrade? Why can't you trade at appropriate levels? Because we have this greed that we fight. We have this fear that we fight. Anyway, let's get back to the letter. So we don't need to be right as much as we need to be safe and wise. Now, again, if you have reasons to trade, those reasons. Who am I to tell you not to trade? But if you don't have a reason to trade, you need to understand there's a program inside of you. I said I'll get back to the letter, but I got things to say. If there's something inside of you that just says, I got to press the button, I got to press the button, you need to be aware you may be battling greed. Okay? We battle with our flesh. The Bible tells us many things about the flesh of man. It tells us how we wrestle against the spiritual warfare, but we also wrestle against the soulish part of man. Paul says, I because of the flesh, I do the things I don't want to do. The Bible tells us often to be crucified with Christ, but we're always battling that flesh. Understanding your weaknesses is very important for you to have some kind of growth. So if you're applying this method to trading, you only know this after you've been trading for some time, especially unsuccessfully. If you can't get out of a losing trade, you're emotionally tied into it. Your money's tied to that, to your emotions. And if you can't cut that emotions, then you're too tied to that. Maybe you need to decrease your trading percentages. I need to make a big amount of money. Why? What is it inside of you that needs to make all of that money right now? It's not even time for the real wealth transfer yet. That really hasn't happened. Most of we've seen seed money seasons, and people have prophesied there's been a lot of opportunity for our community to make money successfully shorting. And that's a type of wealth transfer, but it's none of the prophetic stuff that people are talking about. People have prophesied about these numbers on XRP, or these numbers there for this crypto, or numbers for this crypto. Where are those numbers? Where are they? All we're left right now with the current season and the current data. Yes, there may be years of famine, and there may be years of abundance, but the timing belongs to the Lord and the Lord alone, and he doesn't always give it to everybody. What he does is give us the preparation to help us understand the seasons. Now, sometimes he'll give you the exact timing and the exact windows, and you need to have those, and you need to take action. But most of the time, he doesn't give timing. He gives you the instructions for the season, and he says, tarry until I come, or occupy until I come. The wise virgins and the foolish virgins, one had oil, 5 had oil, and the others didn't have oil. It was for them to be faithful, whether they happen now or then. And so it's for you to be faithful, whether the wealth transfer is happening now or then. If you can't break your bad habits at these levels, do you think they're going to magically disappear when you're a millionaire or a billionaire? Come on, my friends. If you can't break your bad habits when you're right now trading and you're still doing these, I overtraded, or I was doubling down on my losses and I kept losing, so I kept adding to my loss. If you cannot manage your own finances, how do you expect to manage when you do have the wealth transfer? Who am I talking to? I'm talking to everybody in the communities. Again, I may not be right about all the stuff in the market. I'm at both sides, right? We're going to see that in just a few moments when we finish looking at USDT.D. The problem is you trading stuff that you don't see. You're just trading based on your emotions. A lot of you guys are trading on your emotions. So you know it. I know it because I used to trade on my emotions all the time. Sometimes I'm still very tempted to trade on my emotions. And that's the first thing you have to do is kill your flesh. Why do I need to be right? Who are you trying to impress? Some of you guys who trade in teams, you got to be real careful because you try to impress your teammates. I know that because I used to trade in teams. Back in the day, when I was trading Forex, like when I was 18 years old, sometimes we were very successful and sometimes we were very unsuccessful. We didn't have a genuine effective method or system or way to do it back then, and we didn't know all the rules for trend lines, and we were doing a lot of other stuff. We didn't have key angles and phantoms and shortcuts and all the stuff that we teach in 7.0. We didn't know VSA. We didn't have anybody to teach us, and when we did come across the information over teachers, we just didn't have it available. In my opinion, I can see a scenario where, of course, you wouldn't be successful, but what I more took from all of those years was the emotions that I experienced. When you look back on your trading career, you want to be concerned with your emotions. What did you get through? Were you concerned about trying to make money, or were you concerned about being correct? That's what you more should be looking at. Was I right in the data? It's not get rich quick. You don't have to get rich quick. You can build wealth slow. You can do those things. But you need to be understanding what it is you're doing before trying to throw a lot of money at it. Some of you guys don't even have the basics mapped down, or whatever method you're using. Okay? And if you're doing that, if you are, and I don't know, because I don't see all of you guys' charts or whatever. I don't do it. I mean, some of you guys' charts are really good, but I don't know how you trade, and I'm not supposed to, and I'm never going to know, and I don't want to know. Don't tell me it's not me you're trying to improve. I'm speaking to the communities. Not just JSON community, but all of our communities, not JSON Dive, but everybody who's watching this video. Have a reason for doing what you do. You understand? Have a reason on why you take a trade. Whatever the reason, good or bad. My brother is I shouldn't say this out loud, but my brother is aspiring to be a professional gambler. In only specific games, he does this. He discussed to me certain things. He says, for me, it's not a game. It's a strategic investment. He explained to me the nuances of the specific gambling arenas that he does. Now, I don't agree with maybe that market that he chooses, but for him, he trades like a professional. When he takes a bet on a certain, he does, I think it's sports betting, but he's done a little few casino things. But from the documentaries that I saw about professional casino players and professional sports bettors, they stack the odds in their favor. They don't just gamble. He says, when I win, or it's this, I have rules. And when I take a trade, or when I take a bet, he has rules. If those rules don't meet the condition, he doesn't take it. And he says, this has served me well. I've made X amount of successful trades. And I mitigated X amount of successful losses. And it's working for me. And I said, wow, good job. That's fantastic. When I saw the documentaries by the professional gamblers, they say we don't gamble like people gamble because we're not really gambling. A farmer, did you know a farmer could be a gambler if they don't know what they're doing? They don't know the right depth, they don't know the right season, they're not mitigating their losses, they're not choosing the right crop, and they're not choosing the right market. There's a lot of decisions. And even then, you say it's not gambling. You're not guaranteed the rain, are you? People have bad crops, just like any farmer. Okay? Anything that you do that does not have rules or intention or a reason why you do what you do, you're gambling. Even of the gamblers. But when you stop doing that, you become an investor. Professional gamblers are different than regular gamblers because they become a type of investor. They have rules. They know when to walk away from the table. They can stop themselves. They can compose themselves and control themselves in every situation. Whatever market you have. If I jump into a market I don't know about, I'm going to lose. I'm guaranteed to lose unless I have a reason to do it. If I'm just like, I don't know, maybe it's going up, maybe it's going down. I don't know. I have to have a reason to trade what I trade. Okay? And for me, that's the charts. To me, and it can be really any market, but as long as I can chart it, I can, and most of the time volume it, I can have almost everything I need to know. And the same with you. Okay? I got things to say, but I want you guys to walk away with this moment where you say, I'm going to be intentional about what I'm doing. Whoever my teachers are, whatever videos or master classes or courses or whatever trading groups you're a part of, have a reason why you trade what you trade. Tell people, have a reason why you trade or do what you do, because otherwise you're just gambling. And I want you guys to be successful. You don't have to take my opinion for things, but to be a proper steward, you need to at least have some reasons. Okay? Why you are doing, and it's going to make you more successful. It's going to stack odds in your favor. All right, so anyway, in my opinion, because I believe we're in a bearish market, it can be like catching a knife if you're just trying to buy at a bottom, We don't need to be right as much as we need to be safe and wise. In addition, by focusing only on the end, many people are missing further opportunities, further upcoming bearish shorting opportunities. It is very easy to see when territories change, longer term or midterm, but so far everything in the data keeps telling the same story of a bearish crypto market and temporary up bullish moves. This means the correct harmony, direction, or path is down for cryptos. This up move, the up moves should be only used to hunt for those next down moves in the individual crypto shorting, or for exit signals to exit shorts. If we're at a support, that's when it's time to start taking profits for some of that. Please be careful out there. Stay safe. Do your homework. Jason. Now, this is never financial investment or trade advice of any kind. Everything should for comedic, educational, entertainment purposes only. Trading in the markets carries substantial risk. Never trade more than you can afford to lose, and especially be aware against high leverage trading or even over trading. Remember, since October and December, I've been saying I'm continuing to be bearish the markets in general. This is the same copy and paste that I've been doing at the bottom of my post since October. I've put these, and this is how I felt in the markets, those reports. USDT.D continues to be bearish. Remember, when this chart goes up, cryptos go down, usually go down. This is because Tether carries 90% of the weight of the stablecoin market and acts a lot like casino chips. Most trading is done with stablecoins. When stablecoins are dominant, USDT.D is dominant. And it means traders are not at the tables playing the game or playing. That means they're not investing, but rather they're in cash type positions. When money is not being spent in the economy, this makes for a negative economy. This makes it much like the flow of water. When water's not flowing, it goes bad, being stagnant. This is why for several years here, I have provided this important information as on this index, as it were, even though it's not an index, I trade it like an index, with very high success rate of interpreting the statistical direction of the market. If you don't believe me, look through my past videos over the years about USDT.D. It tells us the important parts and when you can see when we're entering each season. I have targets on high sides and low sides. The current seasons are for the high sides. Often I've been a bearer of bad news in the crypto world. Just look before every one of those crashes that we've had, or big down moves. USDT.D was very revealing in those. It generally predicts what Bitcoin will do before it does. If you have not seen my public reports for this videos, please do. These are the reports from the Octobers, okay? And I won't read the previous stuff, but now let's talk about USDT.D. So we got two important charts to show you for USDT.D. Do you guys remember this one from Monday? I told you on Monday we're watching a very important support and a very important breakup. But I also drew this for you. And I said, if there is a shakeout, do you guys remember? This was live. If you didn't see the video, it would look like this. This is a shakeout. If you see this go up and come back down, we can handle a move down. And I gave you the numbers. It was, what's it? I gave you the number for today. It was 5.41 on Monday. So on Monday, I said we're looking to get to 6.4. The low is 5.841. If we get there, that's a shakeout. Be careful. The game has not changed. People are emailing me yesterday. Hey, Jason, has the game changed? Okay. So far, if we see this, that's shakeout. So I drew that for everybody, right? So you guys can have that on Monday. So if you guys didn't see that, they're all uploaded. Let's now go to today's date for USDT.D and see if we're still on schedule. Are we still on schedule? Yes or no? Did the game change yet? Yes or no? Thank you, iPad. No. Royal says no. Are we, is it time to start looking to buy cryptos yet? That changes when we're underneath this line. Remember that. That's when I said, if I'm wrong, this is where we start entering some bullishness, possibly. And even then, it's not fully bullish. Okay? The game really continues to be bearish here. Has it continued to be bearish? No, we have not entered that. This is the 6.48. This is the 779 areas I was talking about. It really should be down to 6.64. Okay? I don't know why I typed 6.79. It's closer to 6.64. We'll know then. So right now, this is all in somewhat of a delay territory. I'm getting no's from Triple J. I'm getting no's from Roy. I'm getting some no's, guys. And you're right. You need to be careful chasing these bars down here. Now I'm going to look at one more thing, and we're going to look at the volume in these two areas to give us. But I let you already know, this last down move right there told me almost everything I needed to know. The volume decreasing on this last down move tell me that the correct direction is up. So every time I see us coming down on that lack of volume, that's going to be a big tell. However, right now, this high volume in this area on this down bar is also important information. The next move from right here, and we can delete this one. I normally like to leave that kind of stuff on there, but the next one is going to be there, but I'm going to at least take a picture side by side with today, so you guys all have a record of this. So nobody says, oh, J-Song, I didn't know what was going to happen. You said we're going up. No, you didn't listen. I said we're going up here. Pay attention. Okay? Everybody, pay attention. Once we're there, this is where the markets crash, in my opinion. And I'm on record saying that. But the numbers I gave you, where's this exact number? And look what happened. Okay? This is the stuff that lets us know where shakeouts are. This is what can really... That's how I would manipulate the market if I could do it. And that's why I drew it the way I drew it. So now I'm going to put this date on here. Really big. December 3rd, 2025. And then I'm going to write a commentary. This image matches exactly what I drew Monday, December 1st, 2025. Okay? Maybe not super exact because I drew it in one move, but I drew it for you. So let's look at it again. So that's done. And there it is. Right. Nope, not that one. Monday. There it is. Okay. Monday. If there is a shakeout, December 1st, that was our Monday drawing. And the number I gave everybody for the low was there. Okay, this was December 1st. Got it? So, you guys can watch my video. You'll see me draw these. These are the numbers. They did not change. So, in my opinion, because the numbers didn't change, we're still on schedule, but we need to be careful. And I'm going to show you some more things that we can see reveal. So now what's going to happen is this area is going to move. These are going to move to the side. Okay. We're going to be looking for another breakout, but this time more closer to these. Actually, not that one. It's going to be this angle. There. So this will be moved like this. And then I'm going to be looking for a possible bouncing here for today, tomorrow, but the volume is going to be a little bit telling, and there's two ways we can view this. Until I get the health, or a local health, which will be here, okay, a short-term smaller health, and I'll just use this one. Until I get that smaller health, I cannot view the down bar on high volume as or higher volume or average volume as buying just yet. I will use this, however, on a smaller time frame to see what's going on. So let's try to break this down. Here's a 12-hour. We're going to go all the way down to a 1 hour, okay? 6 hour. 3 hour. Let's start there. And let's try to point out some things that we might be observing. Okay, this is perfect. So let's draw. These are days since October 27th. This has a lot. So we're at the support. The support is lining up even all the way down to a 3rd-hour chart. Now, comparatively to something like XLM, where the 1 hour, where the daily chart did not match the weekly chart and it didn't match the 2-week chart, they're all over the place. We're expecting volatility. This doesn't have it. The exact bottom on the daily chart is still the exact bottom on the 3-hour chart from October 27th. That's crazy. Okay, that's really crazy. And that tells us we can trust more our eyes. So if I'm building below here, I'm probably going to be looking for more bullishness. Otherwise, I might be looking for a bounce in this area. Now, high volume at this may indicate buying on the down move, which we see right now, the volume high. Okay, but we need the health to confirm it. Now, I'm not reading the volume so much from this to this area. This would tell us that we're not done playing in here. This would tell us there's still a lot of volume, not super excessive, but from A to B in the macro, I would be looking to play down here a little bit longer, so I'm not looking for a super strong bounce just yet. That's what that would mean. So in context, buying is possibly coming in, but we would need a health to confirm sometime after, what, December 10th maybe? Somewhere around here. And then the volume between here and here tells me we're not done. So I'm probably going to be looking to gravitate generally only to here for a little bit more. Okay, so I'm not looking for a big crash today. That's what I'm not looking for that. Okay, so that's how that works based on what I'm seeing. Overall, it's still low volume on this down move comparatively. So let's try to, again, we're going to draw it together. And we're going to calculate for all the variables, some of the main ones. So, how strong is this line? We got three big, what's it called? Supports from a previous area. Now, if I'm just doing these two, I get to that bottom there, but I also seem to have another line going back from October 7th. So before we were looking near October 27th, but if we go back a little bit further, we have another structure. What's of note about these structures is that this is round. This is smaller round, and this is also round. So if I'm looking, I got more time to play in here, right? I got more time to play down. So even if there's a smaller weaknesses that are coming in or something like that, it's still right for me to play here, which is matching what the volume's saying or what the volume's trending right now. Okay, now let's go over some of the other stuff going on. I see this shape. It looks like that. The parabolic on the bottom is very telling. Okay? But I also have that. It's like there's two, and they're going to form a little bit of a story. We should have bounced here, which we did. And then this is also some negativity, so volatility here. So price fighting in here is also appropriate. And that gives us a little bit of backup safety net from people who haven't made decisions or traders that haven't made decisions. All right, let's paint a little bit more of a picture. Before I start being bullish markets or exiting full shorts, this is when I want to start exiting shorts. Again, right there. That's when I want to stop shorting the market and being really careful until it's clear all again. If I go below here, how far am I supposed to fall? I'm supposed to fall to event line. Now I'm going to show you there's two ways we can read this. Number one, more locally, which is something like this. And again, this is a 3-hour chart, so I'm going to use a slightly different line. But if I were to read the weakness from these 2 points, the last event that happens is this angle. So that's going to be our key angle / event line. We call it EV. We simply duplicate it and bring it down to the lower energy center, and we click it in place. We should fall to here, which is now, and the vortex that's relevant, which is here. So being here is also still appropriate and still healthy. So even though we're technically under some small stuff, we should be here. Now again, if this goes down, the market's going to be bullish. For how long? A little bit more. and it's going to cause a lot of people to try to buy the market. But we've already determined in the volume it's likely based on the sellers that we're losing longer term back from the stuff that was way back there. We saw that price should go higher from previous analysis. We also saw more locally these down moves are the wrong direction. Okay, so a lot of it's telling us we should still be playing high and breaking to the high side. That's when we start getting the 6.6 numbers where we can start going higher, or 6.48 numbers I think it is. Once that happens, that triggers those large shorts and we can start really making some money. Until then, this is appropriate. So let me do this again, okay? To keep painting the important areas so you can see it happen in real time, and as it's happening, you won't be whipsawed. Okay, you will understand the game, who's winning, who's playing. So right now, the up move has not ended. Okay, has not ended. It's still in play. In play. And if this is up, cryptos are still bearish. This equals bearish cryptos. I don't have to know the future. All I can easily see when this ends, it's here. That's when it ends. That's when I can stop shorting. That's when you can say, "Oh, Jason, you were wrong. Tell me I'm wrong there." Okay, tell me I'm wrong there, and then we can start waiting. But even then, I'm still not shorting, not waiting for the big shorts until here. Otherwise, if I'm in a current position, I can take moves down to here, just like we called it. I told you where the shakeout was, and we hit exactly. Now I'm showing you still where the breakout is for when things change, and when things change for the good. So this area would be a bullish type of move, and this up here would be a bearish type of move for cryptos. So what did we learn? We learned event line is still active, and it's still propping up price here. We learned that volume is telling us to be volatile, and the resistance here should be volatile. So price playing in this area over the next days, maybe a week, is appropriate. Okay, now let's take a look at some more things for this same chart, so you guys all can recreate those. I think anybody can do those kinds of things. Remember the larger story that we've talked about in previous lessons. We measured the volume at these three areas. It told us we're leaning where? To the upside. So be careful trying to catch this or any bullish moves as the bottom, because guess what? If this goes up, your cryptos are going to tank. That's why I say, if you're trying to just buy anything, be careful. Be careful. I think the game is about to end and things are going to get bad. This is the larger stuff. We were looking at a 3-hour chart. Now this is the weekly chart. If we're going to reverse and do some kind of bullishness, these are the seasons when we're going to do it. But the weakness hasn't came in, and it may not be for a bit. The larger weakness, the real bullishness, the real bearishness hasn't also came in, but we're there. We're at decision time. So for me, the best thing I can do right now is sit on my hands. I'll say it again before I end. The best thing I can do right now is sit on my hands. Let somebody else take the risk. Let somebody else try to catch the knife of bearishness and short it through there. I already hit all our short numbers from October, November, from reports 1 through 4. I told everybody, hey, look for these numbers. We hit them all. The XRP target, we deleted it today because it was hit. The Bitcoin down to the 90s and down to the 80. There was a target in the 80s somewhere. We hit those. The USDT.D, it was hit exactly. Everything hit. Now these next targets may be activated and may not, but at least we know we're at decision time. For me, patience is what I'm practicing. I'm probably going to break to the top side, and I'm probably going to be right. That means that markets are probably going to crash based on the volume. A, B, and C. It's more powerful than the lower ones. Even though we have lower targets on the board somewhere, the 2% number, we got a lot of numbers down there. But right now, the best thing I can do is say you are here to the communities. The markets may change and the markets may crash. And that's going to be a big thing if it happens. This is a strong foundation that's been around since 2022. Really, 2022. And it's strong. And we're about to get there again. I think we're going to get to that flat. We did a lot of calculations. I want you to be safe. I don't want you guys to see your accounts tank and you guys to have a so disappointing Christmas or have a disappointing season. I don't want you to go to work and see all your cryptos just in the bearish. I think you guys need to pray about what's about to happen. Be cautious, be safe. Try to hedge your investments by trying to take some shorts when it's time. And you'll know, I'll try to shout it from the rooftops again once we're above 6.64 so that you guys can be safe. I can't predict the future. I can just tell you what I see in the data currently and appropriately. Okay? If I'm wrong, here. But guess what? There's one more thing I didn't show you. There's still this parabolic that's still in play. So even if we do come down below this 5 number, 584, which is the number we called Monday for the low, if we still hit it, I'm going to be looking about right here for things to still become bearish. So I'm letting you know today what that number is. Here it is, 572. I'll make it real big so you guys can have it. The numbers that are in play, you guys watch them. Watch who your opponent is, so to speak. All right, 5.72. Okay, that's when that happens. Okay, 5.72. And if that happens, the game's still, even if you're like, oh, Song, now it's time to start buying crypto. No, be careful. Be careful. This is still the core landing zone. Core based on 1, 2. Yes, we may be up here. But if we're going to reject off of here, which we did, that's where we would land. We're obviously not landing on the wick side. Or we may today. We still may. It's still in play, sorry. We may still go up. And that number is 6.05% area. 048. Okay? If we can land there, great. We're probably going to come back up and you're going to see the markets tank. But if there's manipulation, if there's more shakeout, that's how I would do it. There, 5.7. You know how many people are going to start buying crypto once you show them a little bit? They're like, oh, it's going to recover, and then boom, they hit you. And we come right back up to this area. You'll see a long wick and come right back up to this area, probably still be in play. In the meantime, it's dangerous as dangerous can be. Delay. Mess you up. But it's going to be changing and clear here. Any final questions? That's when it's clear, 6.64. I know this is a long report, but I want you guys to stay safe. I don't want you guys getting blown away. Have reasons on why you trade the way you do and be safe. All right? Questions going once from our live audience. Questions going twice. Okay. I'll be here in December when we talk about it. Okay? We'll be here. Today's December 3rd. We want to have a special Forex meeting. It's going to be a Forex meeting. I want to have it on Friday. I want to have it on a Friday, maybe Thursday. I was shooting for the 14th, so we're going to shoot it tentatively now towards the 12th or 11th. Oh, the Thursday, yeah. We're going to do a Thursday special meeting, Thursday at 6 p.m. EST. So 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 11th. That's going to be the day that we choose to do that for our Forex room, and I'll make sure that I put that in the announcement. God bless you, Lord. Kept everybody in our community safe, Lord. Show us things so that we can have some kind of tangible sign. Gideon heard a word, and it was a real strong word regarding action that he needed to take. And you told him, if you're scared, You told him, if you doubt, if you need confidence, if you want to increase your faith, go down into the camp and look for some confirmation. I'm going to show you a confirmation. And you brought him down to the camp because you saw the condition his heart was. You saw that it was a very big thing that he was about to embark on. And you gave him a dream. You gave the people dreams there about him, about what was going to happen. And those dreams, they said that it's the sword of Gideon that's coming. And the stumbling block, the stumbling rock that came, it was nothing but the sword of Gideon. He overheard the conversation and he took it as his confirmation. He took it as his verification, and he became confident to trust what you already told him. Lord, there are things that people are seeing in their data. There are things that people are seeing in their dreams, and they need confirmation. In various ways, revealed to them confirmation. Thank you, Lord, for doing this. And Lord, we speak life, health, healing, confirmation over our communities. God bless all of them, Lord. May you bless every single one of them. Make your face to shine upon them. Lift up your countenance towards them. Give them peace. In Jesus' name, amen. If you're new or watching this video publicly, this is our website. You can sign up for our dive tier. It's $18 for the full month. You'll get invited to our live sessions. You'll get copies of all my image notes, which are private. I do make our public notes, but there are a lot of crypto maps. Every crypto that you're interested in, type it on the website, the ticker, and you're going to find a chart, an image, and look for the video for that day, if there's a video available, and it'll show you information about my commentary for that image. If you got other questions, just shoot me an email and ask me. If you guys are ChartRoom members and you want to make a request for the cryptos that we're going to be looking at on Saturday, go ahead and message me on the Patreon, put in the message, and tell me what your request is, and Melody will make sure she gets it in there. God bless you.